Hi there, it's me, Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. We're ready for the weekend, and we've got big trouble brewing right now. Could this be Tropical Storm Debbie? I'm thinking it probably is going to be Debbie. We'll give you an idea of what we're looking at here in a moment. Let me start everything. As we're heading into the weekend, a lot of people have Gulf Coast planned. I'd like to go to the Gulf Coast, wouldn't you? It is one of the prettiest places in Florida. Let's talk about that and more here for a second, give you an idea of what's going on. What you're looking at right now is the satellite image. This is potential tropical cyclone that could become Debbie before all is said and done. Now, when I say it could become Debbie, I really think it's going to be Tropical Storm Debbie. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. It's trying hard to do its thing, get its act together. Right now, it's been interfered with land so heavy, so
satellite
much.
Image.
Hold on. You don't want to hear me
to do
talk.
its thing, get its act together.
Trying to monitor what's going on. I'll give you an idea of how things are shaking out. Now, as you look at this, it went right through Hispaniola the other day. Last 24 to 48 hours, that really took a lot of the organizational time away, which is great. Now it's sitting on top of western Cuba. That is also slowing down all the big time progress of this storm. If it were not interfering with the land, if it were not having trouble and hitting the land like that, boom, we'd have a tropical storm quickly. Hurricane hunters are out there. They have found wind speeds of 25 knots. So that's what it looks like as it's rolling its way on top of Cuba right now. Here's the visible satellite image of the entire Atlantic. There are other waves to be dealt with later. Things are starting to bubble, but the big one, the one that's closest to us, is the one right there. Potential tropical cyclone 4, number 4 for the season. It is going to come through Cuba tonight and through tomorrow, and by late night tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon to the evening, I think that is going to be the time when we end up getting this thing named. Should be a tropical depression tomorrow, and then a tropical storm perhaps tomorrow night into Saturday and Sunday. So there you go. This is what it looks like according to the Hurricane Center. They've circled it up right in here on top of Cuba with wind speeds. Again, they're calling sustained winds. Movement is about 16 miles per hour to the west-northwest. Highest wind they figure is about 25 knots or 30 miles per hour. So the way they've got this cone going right up the Gulf Coast of Florida is of grave concern because the modeling today brought it closer. So they're kind of splitting the difference. The right-hand side of this cone is what we'd really like to see it do. We would really love, if we were wish casting, to bring it right up the seam of Florida. If you could keep that center from getting to the Gulf, staying over more land, then what you have is a big rain out. Okay, so we get a bunch of rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's awesome. That'd be great. If it goes right along the east there, say the center of the cone, where it says tropical storm by 2 a.m. Sunday, that would be Tropical Storm Debbie with wind speeds of 40, 45 miles per hour. Nobody wants that. Hey, Alan Harris, what is up, my brother? How are you? Coming up on 20 years of employment, aren't you? I know. August the 13th was your day. Take a look at what's happening now with this storm system. The way they have this cone, if that eye stays out of the open waters of the Gulf, then it will strengthen. It will become Tropical Storm Debbie, and the wind speeds can get upward to 50, 60 miles per hour. That's not what you want. We really want it to hug the far east side of this cone, get on land in a hurry, and just be a big rainstorm for the weekend. Give us 5 inches of rain. That would be great. Who wouldn't love that? 5 inches of rain, not a big deal. Here's the way the modeling looks in the last several hours. We'll go ahead and add in that one while looking at the initialization here. What you're looking at is the initialization of GFS. And look, great agreement that it's going to come right through the Big Bend area there and up the east coast. And maybe be a storm off the southeast coast of Florida. Here are the initializations for the Euro. They're not as quick with it. They keep it in the Gulf as late as Sunday into Monday. Nobody wants that. But again, I really believe that the GFS has been doing a better job. I really do. What you're looking at right now is the radar that I'm taking from my former employer and my big friends at the powerful WKMG. You see the radar echoes right there. Let me take me out so you can see the radar. You see the activity in there, all that stuff around Cuba. That is our system right there. There it blows. Potential tropical cyclone number 4, putting the rain bands right into Cuba, big rain into the Bahamas, and even some rain developing in the Gulf already, around Key West, and points to the west of there. Eventually, we're going to end up with all of that here. This is what it looks like right now, again, on top of Cuba, being interfered with by the landmass, which is all great. All of that is great. Hey, John Sorrells is watching too. Hey, Johnny, how are things? Man, I'm telling you, I was talking to Will from the Weather Service, John. 2 weeks ago, we went to see Twister, and Will was there, and we're talking about getting together, coming to Sorrells. I swear we are. I'm not just kidding. We're going to make it. Will, me, Scott, the brides, and the partners, and Sweezy. Hopefully she'll come too. We talked about it. We got to make it happen. It's been too long since I've been to your place. Anyway, back to the satellite imagery here. See the activity rolling through Cuba, producing big rain and potential flooding effects. Rest of the Atlantic, got a little business going on, but we're all concerned about what's happening right here. Let's do the model. Here we go. Here's the way the GFS sees it in the next several hours. Boom, there it is. This is Sunday morning, 2 a.m. This is Sunday, 2 p.m. You see the activity right in there on top of Florida. By 8 p.m. at night, it's on land. That's not a bad solution. Seriously, it's not. That's a big rainstorm. That is awesome. That is really what we'd love to see. Would really love to see that happen. As we advance the map on over, let me go back to Monday. Here's Monday. Look, that's a quick jump. From Sunday right there to Monday right there, that is a quick acceleration. And the Euro does not do that. The Euro keeps it over there in the North Gulf by Monday. Then on Tuesday, it's up here threatening Charleston, South Carolina, deepening a bit. That's a hurricane, y'all. That's a hurricane. That's Wilmington, out to Cape Hatteras, and then gone by Friday, which is, for Florida, great solution. For Wilmington, trash solution. Nobody wants to see that for Wilmington. So let's run that model one more time. Here we go through tonight to tomorrow. Get your stuff done on Saturday. Not a total wash away Saturday. Sunday, kablooey. We've got problems. We got rain from Tampa all the way up to Jacksonville, and then it moves over Florida Sunday night into Monday. Monday re-intensifies off the coast of Jacksonville, off the coast of Georgia, threatening Charleston, South Carolina as a tropical storm, and then perhaps it looks like a hurricane rolling all the way up to Wednesday, right in there. 998 millibars. There's a drop, 996. Yeah, that becomes a hurricane. It does. Way up there around the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And so there you go. Here's the time of the arrival of the wind. Let me take me back out so you can see what the Weather Service is saying. By Sunday, 8 a.m., the biggest wind will be through Central Florida. It will. And by Sunday p.m. should be up around Georgia. And we'll be on the backside of this. Everything will be uniform. Tornado threat should have slowed way down by then. And all will be better. Here's what it looks like again on the satellite imagery right now. All of this activity is impressive. Who's Michael Phillips back there? He's flipped around. Yeah. We used to have a joke, Michael. We'd say you go to bed with Tom, wake up with Amy. Hey, what's better than that? Because we're working on opposite shifts. How much wind will it be? Jeff, that is to be determined. My guess is, where are you? If you're in Orlando, I'd say hey, Jenny. Jenny Burns-Smith is here. We'll talk, Jenny. Michael, I would say that the wind, who said that? The wind, Jeff wants to know how much wind there will be. It depends on where you are. If you're over on the Gulf Coast, the wind will be higher. Hey, Scott Tongrave, go Tops. Higher winds along the Gulf Coast, closer to what will be the eye. What will be the eye will have the highest wind. And then there'll be some feeder bands coming through Central Florida. That'd be the biggest risk here in Orlando and points to the East Coast would be maybe a tornado or something. Remember, a tropical storm system is not a dot. It's not. This is going to be a big sloggy, sloshy kind of mess coming through. Probably more rain than wind unless you get a tornado. And storms in the Gulf of Mexico produce tornadoes with random abandon all across the peninsula. So if you get a low that deepens in the Gulf, that banding coming through that lift, tornado outbreaks get to be kind of ugly. We end up going live a lot, chasing those tornadoes all over Central Florida. So that would be a big mess for Sunday, calming down by late Sunday to Monday. Once the north part of the system, if it's around clock between 1 and 3, down to 6, once that gets north of you, everything becomes more uniform and you don't get as much twisting, you don't get as much banding, you don't get as much torque. You won't have as many tornadoes. That'll be Saturday night and Sunday will be our roughest time right here in Central Florida. Shelby Sorrells is watching. Shelby, you can come down. I'm in the back room, hon. Come join me. People would love to see Thing 3. Toby was in here earlier. He almost made the Tom Show, and then he didn't. All right, let's get back to the satellite imagery here. It's really super impressive. Right over top of Cuba right now. You see that activity right in there? Here is the radar from Channel 6, the powerful KMG, and right there Santa Clara, all over just to Key West. All that activity. Watch it turn. Watch it turn just a little. Yeah. There's a little turning there. It's not a well-defined system. It's just not. Not well-defined at all. Let's come into Central Florida. We have rain happening. This is not really tied. This rain right here, none of this is really tied to our system right now. The activity you're seeing is not tropical in nature. It's just your typical tropical downpours in Central Florida this time of year. That's all it is. All it is. Right there, from Orlando into Seminole County to Osceola County. You get down here, though, all of a sudden, this stuff, that's tied to our system. Right there, from Santa Clara all the way over. X would mark the spot about right in here. Leading edge is all the way into Santa Clara. And again, if not for Cuba, if Cuba weren't there, man, this thing would be deepening rapidly and we would have ourselves a tropical storm. But right now, we don't. What we have is a potential tropical cyclone. Give me 24 hours, I think it'll be a depression, if not a weak tropical storm, Debbie, forming right there in the Straits as soon as it gets back to warm water. If that center gets over the warm water, giddy up. What we'd really love to see happen is that center to come up, the would-be center, the ill-defined center right now, come up into Florida. If that were to happen, if it were to come this side, come up on land, come through the Everglades, that'd be great. That'd be great. Rain all you want, and the land mass of Florida would slow it down. What you don't want, are you going to go back to comments so I don't bother you? Ask a question, Tiffany. Ask me right now because I'm looking. What you don't want is that eye to stay over the water, the Gulf, and then sling those feeder bands through here. Nobody wants that. Hey, Melissa, thank you for the kind words. Gene Singletary Deal, thank you. I appreciate you watching. Will it be in Orlando? Dan, probably the rain. I would love for the center of the would-be rotation to come through. But if it does, it will be a big-time rain thing here, not a huge wind event, I don't think. My time sharing Reddington Beach, they cleared up from last year's storm. What's the storm surge? Not much with this. This is going to be a weak tropical storm, a weaker system. Not a huge storm surge at all. Light stuff. 1 to 3 feet max. I don't think it's going to be big at all. And it's moving. It's 16 miles per hour. If it were slow, if it were to get here to become a cutoff low, I was really worried earlier this week. This thing would come into the North Gulf and stall and stop. But now it's looking like that's not it. Here's the arrival of your winds for everyone. Probably Sunday, 8 a.m. Church time for a lot of folks in Central Florida. Be blustery and blowing. Will it hit Brevard County? Probably not going to be a direct hit to Brevard County. But again, a hurricane like this or a tropical storm is not a dot. It's not. We track this thing and we show this. We show the potential path. Oh, and everyone follows the black line. Well, if I take the black lines off and you can't see the forecast track, and you just look at the cone, well, the cone doesn't go anywhere near Brevard County. But a feeder band might feed into it, and it might produce a tornado once that low is in the Gulf. So you need to be ready. Hi, Lucy Evans. How are things in San Antonio? T. Gray is here. Thank you, T. Gray, for being here. What a great way for my husband to start his vacation. Hey, you know what? I have family members coming home for vacation, too. They're trying to get her through this mess. First time I don't have to go to the studio and sit there all night, and they are having a hard time getting to me. There you go. Late Pentecost. Okay, so about the same thing. What your gut saying about it? No, I don't think it will turn into a hurricane, Debbie. At least not until it gets off the coast. Let's go back to that. We were watching the modeling here. Here, I don't think it becomes a hurricane here. No, it's not modeled to. It's modeled to be a tropical storm. And then when it gets over here and exits and gets to the East Coast, back into the Atlantic, off the coast of South Carolina, it deepens rapidly, I bet. And yeah, I think Debbie will be a hurricane, but not until next week as it threatens the Carolinas. Watch that storm go right up. Woo, baby. Right up there into like Cape Hatteras. That ain't cool. No, see, nobody likes that. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. We've been on a little while. If you're asking a question, I will certainly come back on here and try to answer your questions. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. Just know that I believe this thing will become Tropical Storm Debbie. I think it's going to be a rainmaker for us here in Central Florida. I think we're going to be dealing with it Saturday into Sunday. I think most of you are going to be fine. You might want to be ready for a bunch of rain. Mad Dog is gone this week. Give him your attention. Cindy Hall, west of Fort Lauderdale. Just a rain thing, Cindy. Could be a feeder band come through there and give you a downpour for a while. And there's always a risk of a tornado on the peninsula of Florida when there's a low in the Gulf. It's that close. Other than that, you're going to be fine. Rain is starting to fall gradually and thunderstorms are rolling by. Yes, these are not tied to that storm. These are just typical Florida thunderstorms in the afternoon. Sue Wheeler, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to wrap it up. Just know that the path of projected movement takes this thing right along the Gulf Coast Saturday night into Sunday. So if you have plans on Saturday, giddy up. Do what you're going to do. Have a great Saturday. Sunday, be ready for it to start, turn blustery, wet and blowing, probably by noon on Sunday. From time to time, you'll get tropical downpours. And then by Monday, we'll rapidly improve. Not a bad forecast time. This is just the beginning, gang, of a very active August, September, and October. Our hurricane season is going to be lit up. Dave Roberts, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? This retirement gig's pretty cool, huh, Snake? Hot. I thought you were retiring. I can't stop. Lucy, yes, I retired from the powerful KMG. They don't make me go in and anchor anymore. I don't have to do the 11. I don't do the 4, the 4:30, the 5, 5:36, the 6:30, the 11. I don't do 7 shows a day anymore. But I still can use, the graphics. I still use Facebook to reach the mass audience and I still repost their stuff. And, I'm still going to be doing weather. Talk to Tom's not going to die just because I don't have to do the 11. So I'll be around. If you need me, holler. Lots of Talk to Tom this month. And more coming, Michael. Yeah, more on the way. I'm going to try to do 9 a.m. I may get down. If this thing goes to the coast, I may go down to the Gulf Coast. I may try to report from the sand. I've never taken Talk to Tom live in a storm like that. So, why not? Family's safe here. I can go there and do a live hit. That'd be fun, right? Lord knows I've got time. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Is flooding possible near the river in Daytona Beach? Probably not. I don't think the river's going to back up. I don't think the wind's going to be strong enough. There's always a problem with the St. Johns River that things could go backwards and start to mess us up. But I think we're going to be okay. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. If you need me, you holla. Leave me a message. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. TikTok, it's Tom Sorrells. On YouTube, it's Talk to Tom Sorrells. Give me a follow. I'll give you a holla. And we will see you soon. Tomorrow. Peace.